Grade 2 defense biscuits from the Second World War. You know times must be tough when your biscuits start getting model numbers. Start with 25 grams of sugar, followed by 25 grams of a mild treacle. Next up is 50 grams of lard. Please get out of the box. Please exit. That was only its first form. 70 grams of milk powder. Mix. Now 200 grams of graham flour. Do you know how hard it is to find graham flour? Hard. 15 grams of wheat germ. Fresh wood chips. I've been told to keep this in the fridge so it stays disgusting for longer. Thank you again. Finally, a half teaspoon of salt. And a quarter teaspoon of bicarbonate. Come on! There we go. So these were a part of America's K-rations. Think of them like dystopian lunchboxes. Poke some holes in. $3.50 for about 15 minutes. What's that, Frank? You like my cookbook? He can't read. These are the very definition of sustenance. Bit like a dog biscuit, but I would take these over hardtack. Marshmallow bark from 79. The good thing about this recipe is it seems quick and easy, but the bad thing is that it comes from the state of Missouri. What goes on in Missouri? First, we assemble a double boiler. I'm good at this. Then we melt 12 ounces of white chocolate, either in bar form or a bag of chips. I'm using Ghirardelli bars because I prefer to rot my teeth expensively. Fire! Yes, you could just melt your chocolate in the microwave, but that makes too much sense. Why be practical when you can give the illusion of competency? We also need to add in about a tablespoon of vegetable shortening. You could also use coconut oil. While that melts, we measure out 4 cups of multicolored marshmallows. Woo! Be pretty. Okay, now that this is ready, we're just gonna let it cool down for a little bit so it doesn't just immediately melt the marshmallows. You ready yet? Combine and mix. And into a lightly greased and lined casserole dish. Making sure everything's even and coated. To the fridge! My cookbook for scale. Quite pleasant, really. It's a bit basic, but the kids will love it. Sweet and simple and Eastery. Deep fried cream eggs from 96. Yes, Easter is upon us, which means sweet tooths are at a fever pitch. However, I think this is going too far. All we do is make a batter of 3/4 cups of flour, half teaspoon of floof powder, big pinch of salt, plus a tablespoon of sugar and other vegetable oil. Finally, a half cup of moo juice and 1 egg beaten smooth. Now we fill a saucepan with about 2 inches of oil and get it hot. I'm using corn oil. Why? Because it's corn. Fire! About 375 Fahrenheit. Almost as hot as my cookbook. So these have been in the fridge. Woo! First we dredge in a bit of plain flour, then batter, then fry. Carefully drop. Fry until golden brown. Surprisingly, this is not an American creation. They were born of chippies across the United Kingdom. Oh boy. Whoa! But heavens above. I can only describe these as voluptuous. Panko cookies from 85. It's been said that there's a cookie for every occasion, and if so, this must be the cookie for when you descend into psychosis. Start with a half cup of butter, followed by a half cup of powdered sugar. Next is 2 teaspoons of millet and 1 teaspoon of almond extract, distilled nut. Finally, 3/4 cup of flour and 3/4 cup of panko, the breadcrumbs. You say, Dylan, why would someone put breadcrumbs in cookie dough? It could be because of like illicit substances or like psychiatric disturbances, being held at gunpoint, these types of things. Then we scoop, roll, dredge in more powdered sugar, and squish. 350 for about 13 minutes. Do not put my cookbook in the oven though, it's flammable. Hello! Once they're cool, we dredge in powdered sugar again. Was the first time just for practice? This person is genius. Because I figured out how to make something soft, chewy, and crunchy at the same time. It's a marvel. It's a good cookie. Magic oatmeal cookies from 85. Not only are these a 2-ingredient cookie, but they also purport to be healthy. First, we take a very ripe banana. This one is passed away, gone, very nearly flattered, dead. We mash. Nanner, no longer. And then we throw in just about a cup of quick oats. That's it. This is not a cookie. This is a wrong way to make oatmeal. But wait, it says we can also do this with a half cup of applesauce and the cup of quick oats. Just scoop them out. Then we squish them. Banana on the right. 350 for about 15 minutes. But just watch yours. Did I tell you that my book has a metallic title? I'm a simple man. What? Smells good. Let's do applesauce first. What? It's a cookie. Huh. Now banana. Banana is superior. Sorry. I guess everything's a cookie now. These are really fun and easy. For a healthy cookie, not bad. Another dump cake from 87. So I've actually already taken a dump in this kitchen before. We have a done dump. But instead of using chocolate cake and cherries, I was told I should have used yellow cake and peaches. So let's take a dump. Directly into an oiled casserole dish goes 2 21-ounce cans of peaches and syrup, draining the syrup from one of them. Uh-oh. Today's dump requires the use of a can opener. It's a fairly painful condition. Then you dump! My bad for assuming there was only one way to take a dump. The Americans are rather imaginative. Dump! Frank, can you guess what we do with our box of cake mix? That's right! You dump! Last year we dumped on melted butter, but this recipe just has us put it on top. 3/4 of a cup. Boop. Then we bake our dump at 350 for about an hour. You can also dump my cookbook in your cart. Sorry. Ooh! Let it cool. Yeah, this is superior, but I still detest the concept. It's a loveless peach cobbler. Widowed and forlorn. Sprinkle cookies from 1980. Now I relate to sprinkles because they're dainty, frivolous, and let's face it, just a little bit limp-wristed. All the things I was called in high school. And now. A cup of butter. Only a 1/4 cup of sugar, plus 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk. Interesting. And yes, I know I can spray the cup to make it easier to come out, but I didn't come out easily. Why should the milk have it easy? A tablespoon of Nilla. Are you trying to marry me? Nilla. Beat! Now for 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of floof powder. Finally, we need in 1.5 cups of sprinkles. Cups? You say, Dylan, that's a lot of sprinkles. I say, congratulations. You're very shrewd. This is daft. What is this? Oh, scoop. Dip in more sprinkles. More sprinkles than flour. 325 for about 15 minutes. Did I tell you I have a cookbook? It's gonna be fun. Oh, yes. These are like the best birthday cake cookies. Lime Jello fudge from 68. Typically, fudge involves chocolate, and on the rare occasion it doesn't, it definitely shouldn't have Jello in it. Into a saucepan goes 3.5 cups of sugar. That was half the bag. 1/4 teaspoon of soda. 10-4, good buddy. Plus 3 ounces of lime Jello. You ready for a party? Fruity. 1.5 cups of moo juice. That's milk, by the way. Then we cook to 234 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, it's foaming. Please stop growing. Stop. Avast ye! Ow. Ow. It's got ranged attacks. I don't like this. Almost. Keep stirring all the way. Then remove from heat and into a bowl. 1/2 cup of butter. Beat until thick. Thick. And into a greased and lined 8-inch. What is this? Chill until firm. Do you know what's already firm? My cookbook. It's a hardcover. Oh. It tastes like summer camp. Like baby bottle pop nostalgic. Huh. Fruity Pebble Cake from 1980. Fruity what? You heard me. Where am I? Fruity Pebbles into a blender. Into a blender? What, you never put cereal in a blender before? Calling yourself a chef? Moo juice. Eggs. No. Eggy. Eggy. Yeah. Butter melted. Get it. Sugar. Floof powder. That's baking powder, Nick. And then we just blend. Blend? Oh. 350 for an hour. You like cereal, Nick? Yeah. You like men? Ooh. A cheat lemon pie from 79. So this pie says it can be finished in 2 seconds, something I think is quite impressive, yet other lovers find it deeply unsatisfying. You can't win them all. Start with a can of sweetened condensed milk. Ooh. Then a whole can of thawed lemonade concentrate. You find these in the freezer section because they're frozen. Pour it in. Mix. The acid is thickening. Fold in a tub of Cool Whip. Get it! Ooh. Finally, into 2 pre-made graham cracker crusts. Oh, yes. To the freezer. Don't worry, I'm not going to speak about my cookbook. Nope, not me. Good morning. By the way, this cost me $5. In this economy, $2.50 a pie ain't bad. Oh, look it. Okay. This is out of the park. It's a frozen pie, but it's silky smooth. Oh. Prune whip from 1927. Now, if you've never had a prune, good. It's best not to engage with the enemy. Prunes are just plums post-mortem. The Draugr of the fruit kingdom. Start with 15 of them all chopped up nice and disgusting. I love it here. Why 15 of them? Why any of them? Why prune? How prune? Then into a pan to be cooked with a half cup of water. Fire! See, prunes are primarily used because they're a stellar laxative. You say, Dylan, how else are they used? Threateningly. Now we strain it and let it cool down, preferably forever, never coming back. Then into a bowl goes the whites of 2 eggies. Pinch of salt, beating stiff. Cup of sugar. Ooh! And we fold in a bit of vanilla and our cooled prunes into a serving dish, well chilled. My cookbook. Garnished with slivered almonds. You say, Dylan, that's not cooked. Correct. Uncooked whips such as these were very popular in the 20s, alongside dysentery. Good heavens. Oh no! Oh, this is foul. Oh dear. Onion soup bread from 68. Now, soup's lovely if you're sick or born before 1912, but it's typically not used to make bread. Typically. Now, we start with 3 1/3 cups of flour, which is normal. Then we add in 2 envelopes of onion soup mix, which is like a sliding glass door, unhinged. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. Next up, 2 cups of buttermilk. Get in! In goes a cup of cheddar cheese. I tell you, cheese makes everything better, except car accidents. Trust me, I've tried. Police got very mad. To a greased loaf pan, cooperate, a bit more cheese on top. Then bake at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes. Can I tell you about my cookbook? Oh, that's fair. It smells amazing. Look at that. This slaps. It is a banging, savory, cheesy bread. Great. A very good idea.